Hello, my name is Valerie Abel, and today I'm going to be presenting my persuasive speech on single-use plastic and how it affects our environment. So, I have a question for you. How would you feel if all of the Earth's animals died and humans were the only living things left? It would be a pretty sad life, wouldn't it? And chances are we might not even be able to survive without the animals on our planet. Unfortunately, though, at the rate that we are using and producing single-use plastic, this is a very high possibility. Not enough people are aware of the harmful effects that plastic has on our environment, and not enough people know how to solve this problem either. Plastic negatively affects both marine life and land animals, and it also affects our planet as well. It never completely decomposes, and we've already accumulated hundreds of billions of tons of plastic throughout the entirety of our planet. Multiple countries and states are taking legal action to help reduce the consumption of plastic, and some people are doing their part as well, but we need more in order to make a greater impact. Toxic substances are released into the soil when they perish under sunlight. Also, if plastic is burned, it releases a toxic substance in the air, causing air pollution, which a lot of people don't know. Most people think they can burn plastic so that it's not in our landfills and in our oceans, and it won't have as much of an effect, but it affects our air just as much as it affects the animals in the soil and everything else. Plastic also takes anywhere from 20 to 500 years to decompose. That's a very long time. And the sad part is, plastic doesn't fully decompose. There's microfibers of plastic all around the earth 500 years later after it's been dumped onto the ground. Plastic harms marine life in a very negative way. About 100 million sea animals die in 1 year alone from plastic consumption. They confuse plastic with things like kelp and shrimp and other fish, and they eat it and either suffocate or it is not able to digest and they end up passing away. It also affects land animals too. Birds and other animals often mistake plastic for the food that they are hunting, and same thing as the sea animals, they end up choking or suffocating on that plastic, which is very unfortunate. From 1950 to 2015, we have accumulated over 350 billion tons of plastic worldwide. That is a huge number. Over 80% of plastic is disposed of, meaning only 20% is reused. And that's also very recent. People have started to see the effects of plastic, and only recently are we starting to reuse plastic and use things such as glass containers instead of plastic, or reusable bags when we go shopping. Packaging produces 146 million tons of plastic, and then in second place, building and construction produces 65 million tons. Here's a few ways that we can help though. Reuse as much plastic as you can. When you go grocery shopping, use reusable bags, or just use no bags at all, similar to what they do at the grocery store called Aldi's. You can also use glass containers to buy things like seasoning and coffee grounds in bulk, rather than buying little plastic containers of seasoning or big containers of coffee grounds. You can actually go to certain fresh markets and use glass containers or reusable containers instead of using their packaged products, which helps the planet tremendously. You can also just actively remove plastic from the earth when you see it. Pick up garbage around your neighborhood lake, encourage your friends to do it with you, and just make it a fun activity. Go outside, of course, wear sunscreen, and just pick up plastic, pick up trash, help your planet, help your animals. It's a great way to reduce the plastic that is in places on the planet that it's not supposed to be. Although we do put it in landfills and that is still harmful to our planet, it's better to be there than it is to be, around the neck of a sea turtle or in an animal's digestive system. So one way that people are helping is there's plastic bans. There's 8 states, California, Connecticut, Delaware, Hawaii, Maine, New York, Oregon, and Vermont that have plastic bans, and there's also about 16 countries that have plastic bans as well. So they have banned single-use plastic. They no longer allow plastic bags, and people that go grocery shopping have to use reusable bags or bring their own reusable container so that they're not using plastic and disposing of it onto our planet. Another way that we are helping is by advertisement. There's many documentaries like National Geographic and other companies like that that have entire documentaries that talk about plastic and how it affects our environment and what we can do to help. There's also many infomercials that are being made talking about the risk of plastic on our planet. So single-use plastic does our planet way more harm than it does good, and there's a lot of things that we can do to help this. Unfortunately, it kills hundreds of millions of animals every year. It pollutes our land and air when it decomposes, and the sad part is it never fully decomposes. We need to stop living with the mentality that it doesn't matter because I won't be here when the world ends. That is unbelievably selfish because the animals and plants that do give you nutrition will be here. Thank you.